A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Ooh, welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I forgot my joke. I'm Lowry Gouts. Damn it.
I'm Lowry Gouts. Don't worry.
Poor Gouty.
Mahalo, bitches. I'm back from Florida. I said
Come
you
back
did
speaking
that earlier.
another language?
You said Florida, and then it stuck with me. I'm back from Hawaii. There we go.
Well, yeah, they don't.
They're different. A little bit different.
Yeah.
This is episode 283. Lowry has gout. How's the gout doing? How's your beverage of choice? Who's sponsoring you tonight?
Drinking water. I am a week of a flare up right now, but I've folded and now I will be on meds.
Yeah,
to
welcome
keep
to the
it.
club.
Yeah, so now I don't think I'm ever gonna. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully this levels it out, and then it doesn't have to be an ever present.
Hey, you'll get what I'm on meds, and I got gout just a little bit, just hurt a little bit, and
Just
I was
a little
like,
bit.
the 10th day of my vacation of drinking 10 straight days, and I just started to feel it, and then I stopped, and then it went away. So look forward to that, so that you could drink like I am. This is from Chris, Old Smoky Tennessee Salty Caramel. So it's a Tennessee whiskey.
Okay.
It's very, very sweet. I don't even think there's whiskey in it because it's so sweet.
Do you know what? You're the only 10 I see.
Oh. All right. So this is episode 283, like I mentioned. What do we have in store for this awesome, sweet episode today?
Commander Masters. We're going to talk about it. But this is the only episode we're talking about Commander Masters. We're not going to stretch this into like a month.
No, not like we normally do with when we do all that.
And
stuff.
we're going to talk about the 8 new Commanders legends that are in the precons. Everything else is reprints. Not true, but in the precons
have new stuff. Yep. Everything in the set proper is reprints, so you get some new stuff there.
Right.
We're going to talk about the pricing of stuff. Like this is your definition of buy singles. Just a little foreshadowing.
I have a slight disagreement with that.
Okay.
Right.
We'll get to that. That's good. I don't even know what you're going to talk about. So are you going to buy anything with this?
No, I'm going to buy singles.
That would have been the best conclusion after having this discussion. Like, so are you going to buy this? No, I'm buying singles.
Just singles.
Oh, it's AJ. Hey, what's up, buddy? All right. So speaking of that, AJ is on live with us. Made it.
Here you go, AJ.
I don't want a relationship. I just want
but yeah, so went to the Big Island, just got back yesterday morning, and I'm still jet lagged from it. So I've taken 2 naps today. I went to bed last night at like 10 and then woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't go back to sleep. So fun stuff there. There's a lot to do at the Big Island, especially when you know somebody, a local like AJ, to give you suggestions and stuff. That helped us out a lot. We stayed the whole time on the Big Island. We didn't do any puddle jumping or anything like that. Some of the highlights are basically our best day was the AJ day. It was all basically, we called it free day because we didn't have to spend money on stuff. All the stuff we spent money on, like we did a manta ray night dive, and we didn't see any manta ray, and it was $130 a person, and seasickness and all that stuff. It was whatever. And they're like, hey,
Yee.
you didn't see any, so you get to come back. And we're like, no, I don't want to get sick. That sucked. But if the manta ray were there, it would have been a completely different story. You know, that would have been probably one of the highlights of the trip.
Yeah.
But instead, you know, it was whatever. And then the AJ day was we went, you know, a monotube, a lava tube, and it goes like a mile.
I mean, a mana tube.
A monotube. Lava tube goes like a mile back into. We didn't go that far back in because the anxiety kind of started kicking in a little bit. And we were trying to get to go see this Rainbow Falls thing. I don't. Did you go? You went to the Big Island too. Like, what'd you say? Like 10 years when we were talking
about
before?
10 years ago.
10
yeah.
Years. Did you do like the lava tubes? We didn't do the one that was in the at the volcano. We did. AJ told us about this one. He's like, hey, there's this one that's in. Was it not Kona? It is Hilo. So it's just outside of Hilo. And it's just like this one that's off the side of the road, and it was freaking sweet. It was huge caves. It's weird how the lava is so smooth, you know? Like some spots, it was just like our shoes did not have traction. I was like, I thought this would be all like, you know, rigid and stuff, but it was super smooth, and we kept expecting to see like animals in there and freak the fuck out, but it was a lot of fun. And then AJ told us to jump off this Coconut Island. Had these like man-made pillar things that you climbed up, and all the local kids were jumping off of it doing flips and stuff like that. So
nice.
My neighbor and we jumped off. Hannah and I jumped off twice because I went to get her to jump, and then Cindy and and Charlie just sat and watched us. But it's cool. It's like a little path that went to this island, grassy island and palm trees, and then they had these like pillars, like stone pillars. And it was in Hilo as well there, and we just jumped off into the bay there, so it was really cool.
Very cool.
What else did we do there? I'm just trying to think of the free AJ. Oh, the food. So I freaking love, what is it called? It's called kalbi. It's Korean barbecue short ribs, and we're gonna try to duplicate it because I love it so much. Because we went to this place that AJ recommended, Hawaiian Cafe. We went there twice. We drove, like, Hilo is not close. It's an hour and 45 minutes from where we were. So once we went to that place once, when we got back in the range again, when we went to the volcano, which is not necessarily close, it's like 45 minutes away. We're like, fuck it, we're close enough. We're going to get that damn food again.
That's where we're getting dinner.
So that and fried Simon is what I think it's called. Simon. It's like a ramen noodle type thing. And so they had this giant bowl with like that rib and then this chicken and just pot stickers. It was so freaking good. The food there was amazing.
That sounds good.
And I didn't eat a damn thing of seafood. So I don't know. It was probably a different experience when you went, because you probably got a shit ton of seafood. Did you?
Oh, I don't know if I tried it. I like seafood in very specific situations. So like I remember we were on the beach and there was like a jumbo shrimp par. You know what I mean? And that was good shit right there. That was really good. And then we had, I don't know, we went to a wedding, that's why we were there, and they were serving like, I think it was just called whitefish. So I don't even know what it was, but that was very good. And Kirsten says that I like fish if I can smell the ocean, and that like it needs to be wafting on my face, and that's the only way.
This is when I can eat fish. Yeah, that's kind of
funny. So that's basically the only time that, and then like a couple weeks later, she's like, oh, you want to try this one? No, that doesn't smell good to me.
Yeah, so AJ
I'm not kosher with
he
that.
knew that what my food aversions were, and so like when we met up for the first time, he took me to his favorite burger place, which is, I think it was called Kai, and we ended up going there twice because we liked it so much. We brought our neighbor or our friends with as well, and that's right on the ocean, which was really cool. And then he took us to this dessert place where I put it on Discord, but it's this ginormous piece of ice cream cake kind of thing. And I'm not a sweet guy, but I ate half of it after already eating half of a triple burger and a quarter of Cindy's. It was food. I ate a
burger
lot.
and a half.
I gained
half of a burger and a half.
I guarantee I gained 15 pounds when I was there because drinking, eating, that's all I did. That's what it feels like.
Driving.
The other thing is, I was so excited. a freaking tropical storm is coming at us. And I'm like, oh, please just get to a hurricane. Please. It was a hurricane at one point, but not by the time it hit the island.
But not when it hit.
Yeah. And for the longest time, it was coming at us direct. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. Dude, the tropical storm hit, and we got rain every single day we were there. Like, just that's what it does. You know, it's just the air getting pushed up the mountain creates clouds, and you get condensation, and then it ends raining on that side of the island or on the other side. That was the only day we didn't get rain. Tropical storm hits, we don't get a fucking drop of rain because it hit the Hilo side and dumped a crap ton of rain. And the mountains, the volcanoes, the mountains, disrupted it so much that nothing dropped on where we were. Like, Kona got nothing. So that's where AJ lives. We got 0 where we were at. And I was like, what? We didn't even get wind because it kind of, it actually went the eye of it, which really wasn't an eye because at that point it was pretty much almost a tropical depression, drops below 39 miles an hour. It went probably 50, 60 miles south of the Big Island, but the bands were hitting up by Hilo, and so they got like 2 or 3 inches of rain, and we got 0. Like I was so excited. I had a weather boner, and then it got nothing. I was like, damn it, this is my dream. I'm getting to ride a hurricane. Everybody else is kind of worried, but not. AJ was like, dude, we get those all the time. It's colder, you know, the Pacific where the islands are. So he's like, yeah, they end up dissipating before they ever get there. And then you have the terrain of the mountains, which really disrupts hurricanes.
AJ, what's the name of that mountain that's there? Do you remember it, Adam? Or
so I wrote it down. We did go over Mauna Kea, I think.
Okay.
Which
and so I remember we went on
the biggest mountain in the world. Is that what you're going to say?
No, because I'm just only half remembering a tour that we did, and because of that mountain, it creates the 4 different types of what is it? You know, climates.
Climate.
So on the other side of that, there is a desert. There's tropical on the other side, and then you have
Mauna Kea.
What are all, you know? And then there's snow at the top of the mountain, and. So so that's the biggest mountain because from you're basically at sea level and then you go as high as it is. It's a unique place. I loved the Big Island. I really enjoyed it. Like the black sand beach, the green sand beach,
which we didn't do the green
tip,
sand,
which is
southern tip. So there's a bunch of things. The southern tip is you always think like Key West. That's the most southern. It's the southern of the lower 50. But Hawaii is further south than Key West, and so that is the southern tip. That was really cool. And you jumped off of that fucking cliff that's in that spot, AJ, you have to confirm this. Is that like, I thought it was like 75 feet. It looked like it was 75 feet. And there was a tortoise down there eating a fish, and to get to the ladder was like 3 or 4 feet off of the water. So I have no idea how the fuck I was going to get up there if I jumped, and no one else was jumping. So then I was like, I'm going to die. Like the waves were crazy.
I'm glad you didn't jump because it definitely was lower tide. I remember the ladder was at least like the first rung was a couple inches into the water. And so at least what you were seeing was at least 3 or 4 feet further down. But I was thinking it was like 50.
Oh, it might have been.
It's still a huge jump.
A huge jump.
It was wild. Like I had water in my sinuses for a couple hours where it's just like, you know, you turn your head funny and then it comes leaking down the side of your face. And that's what I remember. And it was very like I'm sure women have their tops go missing fairly consistently.
And AJ, I hope you don't mind I'm telling this story and don't have your wife listen to this necessarily, but AJ would say he would go down to that and he would get the tourist gals to jump in. He'd be like, hey, I'll jump in and you jump in too. After you jump in, I'll go make sure it's safe. And he'd jump in there, and then they jump down, and then he would help them up to the ladder to get them up. I was like, oh, you're
so kind.
Yeah.
So kind, AJ.
The only way I can help them is by pushing their butt up to the ladder.
It'd be tough otherwise. Like you're swimming. It's hard to.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know how else you could do it.
Swim out of the water. Yeah. No, dude, it looks so sketch. I was like, there's no way.
That's a rusty ass
and no-
ladder
yeah,
to climb up.
I that's what I said to Sydney. I was like, climbing up the ladder, I think I'd have a panic attack because that shit would be so sketchy going up that thing. And the other thing you got to factor in is you were 10 years younger. Like, take 10 years now, and I don't know, like 10 years ago,
Right.
I probably
that's a
would have
good
done
point.
it instantly. Now I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna happen, and I'm gonna die. And it doesn't help. We had this
Right.
okay, so he says usually between 40 and 60 feet. So yeah, it's about that range. You said 50. Yeah, so it's right in the middle there. But we had this guide, which was highly recommend because it was kind of cool. You know, besides you have the AJ guide, the local guide.
Yeah.
But you have this book. It's called there's Maui Revealed. Each island, Big Island Revealed is one we have. The author of that book does an audio tour, so it's GPS related. So as you're like passing by, going on your GPS, he starts talking about the surroundings and like we'll tell you about hidden things and all that stuff. Going to the southern point, he mentioned a bunch about people don't jump here or don't do this here because the tide will take you to Antarctica because it's so strong at the so I was kind of freaked out. AJ, I was just being helpful. Yeah. Helpful.
Nice.
AJ.
You're a good man. I think the biggest thing that I've learned throughout the years is that if it seems sketchy and you don't see locals doing it, don't do it.
Yeah. And
like you want somebody there to be like, oh, you want to do this? Like, we're all doing this. You want to watch somebody survive.
Right. And no
first.
one was doing
that's
and there was tons
Right.
of fish like locals fishing. So that was the other part of it is they were fishing in that area. So it was like we really had a very narrow spot to jump in and
I remember them fishing as well.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then when we went down to the tip and then came back up, there was a huge sea turtle down there eating one of the fishermen's fish that they threw out. Like it was the fish, I'm not kidding, was probably, and we were 40, 60 feet away, and the fish was probably 2-3 feet long, and that turtle was just chomping it up, and everybody came over and was taking pictures, and yeah, it was a good time. The green sand beach, we didn't make it there. It was in the same area. I guess the locals made an arrangement with the government, and so no one can drive down there anymore. So you either have to hike it or pay $20 per person to have a truck take you down. Right. They used to let you, I guess, in the book they said that you can, but then we found out by Googling it that they have changed the rules. And I think a lot of 2020.
I don't think they should be anyway. It's major off-roading roads.
Yeah. We had a Jeep, so that was
so like what kind of Jeep though?
Four-wheel
like
Jeep.
A normal Jeep?
A four-wheel, the Jeep
like
Jeeps. The tourist Jeeps or
did it have like a lifted thing or like big wheels and stuff like that?
No, it didn't have all that, but yeah.
You got holes where I can stand in and have like my head poking out. Like it's ruddy. You gotta be good.
Yeah. So when we were waiting to get on the truck, the dude's like, oh, we got a car we just saw come in. We were gonna wait for them. It'll be about 10 minutes. In that time, there was a bunch of bees, and our friends one of them was very allergic, like EpiPen allergic, and didn't have her EpiPen. So she was having a panic attack. We're like, let's get the fuck out of here. We just saw the southern tip. That was really cool. We've seen the black sand beach. We were going to the black sand beach. So we left there to go to the black sand beach, which was awesome by itself. So that was really cool. There's just a lot to do. So
I want to tell a story about the green sand beach. So we hiked out there because we were cheap and younger as well.
10 years younger.
But yeah, 10 years younger. So it's really cool. It's kind of like in a cavern type area, like a bay. Yeah. So there's like high walls, 20, 30 feet up. You got to climb down into it. And then it's maybe 100 yards across, it's greenish. Mm-hmm. Like it has that, and
hue.
It's beautiful water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a hue of it. And so we get in there that we're swimming, and you know how you like jump with the waves and then it kind of overtakes you a little bit. They were pretty strong, and I was doing that. And then one of them just overtook me and took my glasses off.
Oh no.
And we're like day 2 into a week-long trip, and I can't see shit without my glasses. I don't have extras because they're expensive as well. And so like just me and the two people, Kirsten and her friend that we were with, we're looking for it for like 15 minutes. and cannot find my glasses.
Well, how could you once it gets
It's
in the
like-
waves?
Right, and it's greenish water. It's your chest, 3-4 feet in the water, and so you got to like kind of dive down, check around, or check with your feet. And we could not find it, and we finally just kind of give up. And then 10 minutes later, her friend kicks it. Are these your glasses? Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
Did they get scratched up or anything?
I was about to have a. No, not significant enough for me to care.
Yeah.
But like, I got super lucky there. Super lucky.
That's crazy.
So, but
yeah, that's really
it was
lucky.
pretty fun.
Yeah, I would say the beaches are very different because it's you got the lava, which was cool to see the lava float, like where like, oh, this one erupted in 1901 and this one blah blah blah, this is a newer one or whatever. So we've been to Maui before, and when you're flying into Honolulu, it's like all beaches. This is like lava, and then the beaches they stand out because it's between lava flows. So it's kind of interesting. It's like, oh, there's the beach. You can kind of see it's all blue and all that stuff. The craziest beach was it's Magic Sands Beach, which was really close to our place. And that was the place we went to the very first day. And the cool thing about that beach is, and AJ told me about this, and actually the tour guide thing mentioned it too, is the sand that's there goes away in the winter because of the tides. It pulls the sand away. And then like different spots around the island will have sand that come in at the winter, and then in the summer the sand comes back in.
Where is this?
It's in Kona. Like this beach was in Kona. It's called Magic Sands.
Because we went in winter. So I'm wondering if, like, I don't remember that part at all.
Yeah. So normally in the winter,
must have been
it's
different sand. Yeah.
just lava rock there, like rocks all just sitting on there, and there's no sand except for there's a volleyball court. So the waves were so big. The lifeguard that was on duty kept announcing every about 5 minutes, just like a guide for people to jump through the waves. They're like, this is the third most, it was either the third or the second most spinal injury beach in the United States because the waves crash in. And no joke, man, those waves, when they broke, because it was such a short beach, it broke. And if you're riding the top of that, you're a good 10, 15 feet up, just landing on the hard surface. So I was like, nope, I'm not boogie boarding. I'm not even trying that. And so actually some locals are playing volleyball. Here's a funny thing. I went over there and I was like, I really want to play. Like they're playing volleyball. And so I stood there, and this older gal, I'd say she's in her 50s, 60s, maybe almost 60, and just weathered, for here it'd be like, she's a barfly, like that's the type of the gal she was. And she's like, hey, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, really. She's like, how much experience do you have? Like, so she was like testing, and was like, I've been playing for 15 years, blah, blah, blah. She's like, do you know how to do this? I'm like, yeah, I play every week, whatever. And she's like, okay, you can get in the next game. So I get in the game, and she's like, oh, you're really good. Okay. So she started, like, I played all the rest of the games against locals and stuff like that. So then she gets my number to, gave a 60-year-old my number. She's like, oh, we play volleyball every day at different locations, and this one's blah, blah, blah's turf. I normally play at this one. And, we're also going to play laser tag on Saturday. And she's like, oh, I'll invite you. So she started blowing up my phone like daily. And I texted AJ, and I was like, I made the mistake. I gave a local my number for volleyball. I was like, oh, dude, you never give locals your number. He's like, it's even dangerous you gave me your number. I was like, touche. So I got invited to like volleyball like 6 or 7 times, and laser tag and all this stuff. I was like, hey. So yeah, that was the
fantastic.
I'm trying to see if there's anything
So
else.
if you want to travel to Hawaii, we are suggesting the Big Island.
And contact AJ as your join
Contact
the Discord.
You
You
can-
can contact AJ.
AJ, you're going to be able to start up your own
Yeah,
travel
business,
organization.
through the commander.
That's what it is. Start it up.
We get a cut. We get 10%, right? 10% of
So-
free is still free.
Nah, I don't think so about that.
Adam, no talk bad about Auntie.
She miss you. She miss you, Adam. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's cool because we got to have dinner with AJ. Brought us out there, met his wife and his kid. Super awesome. It was super cool to do that. They like walked us along the the main strip. Then they came over to our place. We had a pool, private pool and hot tub. So I got in the pool and we hung out there pretty late. And then his wife forgot her sarong. So then forgot it. Let's just say that. Then AJ came over again and we hung out for a few hours, which was awesome. So I got to see AJ 3 times. It was really cool. So
Man,
that's
I'm
awesome.
jealous
Yeah.
that you got to hang out with AJ.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Hawaii part, but hanging out with AJ, I'm jealous.
All right. I think that's enough Hawaii talk. 25 minutes. That's a good chunk of Hawaii.
That's not too bad.
I'm trying to think if I missed anything.
That's not too bad. We could just find things that we've traveled to and talk about it for the first half of
Oh, the thing I was going to mention about I think it's Mauna Kea. I think that's how I pronounce it, but the reason why it's bigger than the tallest mountain is because Everest is measured from the base, not from it's whatever above sea level, but the island you can measure from sea level, but it goes directly down into the ocean. So it's actually 33,500 feet compared to Everest, which is 29,035 feet. Above sea level, it's only 13,000. But if you count going underwater, boom, that's how you get the 33.
It's a big one.
Yeah. So yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah. SmithCon in Hawaii next year. That'd be.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. AJ, you will be getting all the supplies for us. You'll be playing the part of Adam and Lowry and hosting everybody. All right. Should we get going on everything? I could probably
be talked into it.
Oh, what else do we have on the podcast?
It'd have to be a long process. We're gonna do staple verses.
There we go. We got 2 things to talk about the results of some staple verses over the last couple weeks. All right.
So yeah, today's staple verses is going to be Cloudshift versus Malakir Rebirth. And then we'll talk about it at the end there. How are we going to do this? What do we want to do first? Do we want to just do the precons, the 8 legends?
Well, we got to do our tags. You guys.
Do we? Who cares?
Well, because we have a new patron. That's why we care. Oh. We care. We have we have a new patron. Did you end up sending the message to our new patron?
I don't know. It's been 2 weeks since I've had to think about this stuff. The only reason I've thought about the Commander Smiths is because of the Discord.
You can become a patron like our new patron. It is Tad Hansen is our new patron.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
By donating $1 or more, you can get into the Discord. Thank you, Tad, for becoming a patron. I don't know if Lowry sent you your things or not. He looks confused. I'm looking at him right now. If you haven't got a message, shoot us a message and Larry can get you hooked up there. But $1 gets you into the Discord.
I need to send him a Discord link. Sorry, Chad. Apologize.
Right. So $1 gets you into the Discord. $5 or more gets you proxies if you so choose each month. You can accumulate them if you don't want to get them every month. You can wait a couple months and get them all at once. And it's fun when we have multiple people that do that at once, because then it turns into, holy shit, we have a lot of proxies. But the higher you move on the tiers, you can get foil proxies as well. So when you get up to the rare, mythic, and uncommon levels, you can get foil proxies. That is the financial way to support the show. The other financial way to support the show is by donating on a live cast, except for today. We are not doing it because Mr. Gouts has shown his ugly face to Lowry's toe, and we are going to get that under control, and we will have Malort back in play. We are doing a Saturday episode, and that's because Vacation July is what is in Stoke right now. So, Lowry, you're going on vacation, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. So Sunday morning.
So I think
gonna hang out on the Dells for a week.
Oh shit! You needed this.
Oh, good for you.
At the Dells, dude. The Dells. You're going to the Dells, man.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh, good.
We're coming back from Hawaii. There we go. Let's turn this into like a facetious party. All right.
You're supposed to.
So
measure
next
from the
episode we will
Montebays.
be back to a normal schedule.
Yeah.
Let's just say that
we'll be back
normal
to Mondays,
schedule after this week.
Yep. And then we can get back into our gameplays and all that. So that's part of the bonus. Becoming a patron is you can potentially get on the live stream with the gameplays. We're going to start that back up here. We just had so much vacation stuff going on. We have got a lot of decks that we have to test out and get on stream. So get ready for some more streaming action going on. But the other way, like I said, you can donate on these live casts by making us take Malort shots, by making us take jelly beans. The hot beans are on everything but the live cast because they suck so bad. But the Malorts are always in play, except for gout days or when we have something else going on. So today, no Malort, but we'll still have fun. I mean, I got my whiskey and you got your water, so this seems like Staple Versus is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be shorter. This is going to be a short episode, everybody.
Well, we talked for 30 minutes
Hour
about
into
Hawaii.
it. Haven't done anything.
All right. The other way you can support the show, the free way to support the show is just subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is the free way to support us. Yeah. You also get to see all our other content, not only the podcast, but you get to see us building decks, us playing decks, us doing the upgrades to the commander decks. You got curated MTG. Lowry, do you want to talk about your curated MTG that's going to appear? Did it go today? No. Was it Saturday? Yesterday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, I did
a card.
Yeah, red, white, 3 colorless, sorcery. Harass from the Ramparts. It's not Harass.
I don't know that one.
It's a new one from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm going through Lord of the Rings cards that I kind of like. But it's the goading everything and then go to those creatures can't block.
Oh, I like that.
A turn.
Yeah.
It's dope. I like it a lot. So
I dig that a lot.
It's cool. Check it out. Check out the.
So yeah, biggest thing with curated is you watch those and give those a like. You can also watch those on TikTok. You can subscribe to us there, or I guess it's called follow us there. So TikTok, any of our shorter stuff will appear there. So proxy time stuff, pack openings, curated MTG, all that stuff pops over there. So if you follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok as well. What else do we got? We got proxy time stuff. We got all that. So there's just a bunch of videos on YouTube. It would serve you well if you subscribe there because you get to see all that fun stuff and jump on these live streams. Like the being here and stuff like that is fun. We also have Twitter, which, whatever. I guess we're getting more people on there, but it's Twitter.
Why?
I don't. It's Twitter.
Are we going to Threads? Are we doing the Thread
I
thing?
don't know. It's probably at some point Threads. I don't know. Yes.
Start a Facebook fan page. Is that what we should do?
I don't want to do Facebook. I don't, but I do want to do.
That's what it is.
Instagram.
So I think we just post it there, and then it goes to IG and Threads, and
I mean, if it makes it easy,
it's all the same thing anyway.
Make it easy. Just post one place and it goes everywhere. Yeah. So yeah. Stay tuned. We'll be at more places coming soon. I don't know. But you can direct message us at Twitter, or you can direct message us by shooting us email at commandersmiths@gmail.com. What are we doing? There isn't like a button, and you already did the AJ button. We haven't had because
I don't want relationship.
I just want bang, bang, bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang, bang, bang.
Right.
We haven't had boobies in a while. Oh, that's the other thing. Stump the Smith Savant will be back next week. So not this coming Monday, the following Monday.
Okay.
Because we're back on our regular schedule. So we'll get Stump the Smith Savant again. Everything back to normal.
Fantastic. Did we send it to the last person the last 2 people that beat me in a row? Did we do that?
I have Quinn, and Quinn, we're just working with Quinn on other things. So I'll send it when I feel like it. You did get 2 back-to-backs, didn't you?
It was Ryan. Yeah, it was.
Ryan got his.
Pretty depressing.
First time for everything.
Ryan got his for sure.
All right, so we are talking about. Let's see. We got to go to card preview. That's what we're doing. Do I have anything? I don't think I have.
Penis can only get so erect.
That one works, but I mean, I guess the AJ button works too.
I don't even know how you're doing this.
What do you mean? How did I do
How are you going to search up this stuff?
Oh, I'll just type in stuff.
Do you need the name?
The names? Well, because I wrote down the names. So we're gonna go through the 8 new commanders from the commander precons, and then we're just gonna kind of have a little open discussion about the set in general.
Should we put like a 15-minute limit, 20 minute limit on the finance part?
On the finance,
make sure we don't go for an hour again.
Yeah,
I think the Lord of the Ring discussion was an hour, and that has turned out to be bullocks. The whole hour was just wrong.
Why was it wrong? What did we do?
All those cards have gone up. They've all gone up.
Oh, from that first time we talked about it?
From Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I was like, wait a month. I was wrong. Totally wrong. Feel real bad.
All that Elven Soul Ring has done, which I get an good for you. Get ready for it. All
Yeah,
that one that I opened has all it's done is gone up since I opened the damn pack. Give me it.
Oh, good for you.
So I'm glad I opened that one because that was fantastic.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's well. So what I highly suggest, this is kind of we're not sponsored by them. I would love to be sponsored by them, but we're not. This is just a public service announcement. The Dragon Shield app for scanning your collection in is fantastic, and you can categorize things, you can organize your collection and all that. So you don't like it? What do you like about it?
So I've been having, I've been using a little bit because I'm trying to, I use it as a holds for stuff that I don't want to trade away or sell to Card Kingdom for a bit. But in that regard, when I can go, oh, that's gone up enough, I can get it off there, even though it's a little wonky or else I'm doing it wrong. But, I have 2,000 cards on there. If I'm going through and I want to try and take it off.
Good for you.
Fair. All right. If I want to delete it, it totally resets everything on my phone. And so if I got to go down to a certain color or whatever, because I'm just scrolling and I delete it, then it takes me all the way back to the top. And I got to scroll all the way again.
You can just
it takes forever.
Card search, right?
But I'm not going for searches. I'm trying to scan everything to see where they're at. Right? So you're saying I would have to type in and go back to the card where it's at and then hope that I can still go in that.
So you're saying you sold something or got rid of it and you want to just delete it?
No. Because I'm going through the entire 2,000-3,000 cards there.
Yeah.
Right. And in order and just trying to figure out what's gone up, what's gone down or whatever.
Right.
And then when I take something out of there, I delete it. And then it brings me all the way to the beginning when I want to still just be at that and continue down the list.
Can I give you a different tip? Is organize it a little bit? Because I have mine into blue, green, white, artifacts.
Well, I'm beyond that point now.
Yeah, right? You are. I have so many categories. I have slivers. I have Phyrexian. I have the 30th anniversary. Like I have them in blocks, or I have cards I'm specking.
So you're telling me to start over? I'm not going to do that either. I'm just not deleting them.
Fuck this app. This app sucks.
Eventually, it's going to get so disorganized and the cards aren't going to be there that I'll just delete the whole thing and then start over. But I'm not going to start over right now.
You know what you can do is organize it by what has gone up. No. I'm just saying you could sort in your searches for highest percentage gains. And so that'll have your top stuff at the top, and then you can see things if you're trying to search. The only problem I would say,
the gains part isn't relevant either. I don't like that.
The thing that I wish I could put in is be like, because when you put in a card, it takes what the value is at that time. And I would like to go, well, I bought this card for $1, not for the $10 it is now. I want to put in, I bought this for $1. So mine constantly shows that I'm way in the hole because I scanned all these in that have been in my spec box for years and years and years. So it's like, you're 30% down. I'm like, motherfucker, that I'm not 30% down.
Yeah, that part doesn't affect me. It just makes it harder for me to read.
Right. But
what
I was going to get at with that is the Lord of the Rings is the only one out of all my categories, because I did Lord of the Rings by itself because I'm collecting the whole set. Oh, good for you. Or whatever, Gandalf.
Oh, good for you.
It's the only one that is like, it's like 26% up from when I've scanned them in. And I scanned them in the first like week or whatever. So yeah, or whatever. You know why though? It's because certain cards are catching fire later. You know, they're being used in Modern or they're being used in other places. And so like, what is it? Sauron's whatever. It's,
all I'm saying is we were pretty wrong about that whole thing, but you should stick around for our conversation on this one. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I say in general, we are right with that. And I'm holding to it because I don't think they're going to be done printing Lord of the Rings for a long time. And so I think,
they got a gift. They got a Christmas thing coming out too. Yeah. So I know that different arts and stuff. Let's do this.
Let's get to the Commander Masters. All right. So we'll go through each one here. So Lowry, why don't you start us off? It's going to be the Commodore one. The Guff.
Oh, you want me to do that one?
Yeah.
What? Oh, this is not in that way. All right.
Oh, sorry. I just wrote mine down and then
Give me a second.
I'll pick the counterpart with it too.
You're fine. All right.
And I apologize
Commodore
with
Guff.
my coughing and crap. I've been sick for 3 weeks. It has not gone away.
Commodore Guff, which has been in a handful of cards, but not the name wise. But one in a blue and a red and a white. It is a Planeswalker Guff, 5 loyalty. At the beginning of your end step, put a loyalty counter on one of your Planeswalkers, and then you can +1 it to create a 1/1 wizard that can tap to add a red for Planeswalker spells. And then you can -3 it. What?
I said that's kind of sweet. I dig that.
Yeah. And then you can -3 it to draw X cards, and each opponent deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the amount of Planeswalkers you control.
So
and it can be your commander.
I wish this was 5 colors, because then you have a commander.
Right. But Commodore Guff is red, white, blue. That's his deals from what we know of at this point. But I think this is a sweet Planeswalker.
Oh, I dig it.
Definitely like
it's gonna go in my mirror deck, the mirror Super Friends deck.
Planeswalker.
Yeah. Because this will fit perfect in there. Adding a creature that adds mana to cast Planeswalkers. That's kind of sweet. I mean, even if you don't use that to cast your Planeswalker, you still get a 1/1 creature out of it, I guess. I mean, that's the lowest point. And then you're adding loyalty counters to everything but this guy. So that's he can't get the loyalty counter. But then if you're playing a Super Friends deck, this could be brutal because you're doing X damage to each opponent with your Planeswalkers out. I mean,
just drawing enough cards too.
That's
it's
a
crazy.
good point too. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking of the damage, not even thinking about the draw. The draw aspect is way better than the damage. I'm like, yeah, get this with my Planeswalkers out and I can kill everybody. It's like, well, you also can fill your hand back up if you have even 2 others out there.
And so, yeah, like think where does this get like really good? So I don't think like having him only out and -3ing him to like draw a card, deal 1 damage to everybody, that's not good enough. But 3 seems to be right. So like if it just comes down, you can -3 it, draw 3 damage to each player. That's not a bad rate.
That's really good.
So that's probably because there are plenty of cards out there that are like 4 mana, draw 3 cards. Then you're adding in the 3 damage, and at the end of the turn, adding a loyalty counter.
Oh,
and
it is
gotta
at end step. I like
want.
that. I was thinking it was big upkeep. I like that it's end step.
Make sure that you get your Planeswalker stuff.
Yeah.
So I like it, and like you're saying, it's mana. It's a mana ramp for a Planeswalker deck that's not green. So I also like that too.
Yeah. And then its counterpart is, let me get this one, Leori.
It's how every teacher growing up said my name the first day of school.
Leori. And they're like, "Oh, you're a guy?"
I got a lot of Lori, but Leori. It works
Leori. Spark Touch Hunter. It is a 3/3 elemental cat with flying and vigilance. Whenever Leori deals combat damage to a player, choose a Planeswalker type. Until end of turn, whenever you activate an ability of a Planeswalker of that type, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. So if you're playing, you could do tribal with like your Jace or whatever, and you could do it.
Jace, Chandra, and Gideon.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all you got.
So the cool thing is then you're hitting. It's not just one of those. If you have all 3 like different Jaces out, each one will double what they're doing. So this seems pretty damn sweet. I don't know if I'll get it in my mirror deck because it does. I like the double stuff, but then everything else it isn't kind of working with. I like the Planeswalker itself will work better in there, but in a Planeswalker heavy deck, I think this is good, especially if you're doing a kind of a tribal.
Oh, I guess I'd go Teferi over Gideon.
Oh, that's good.
Teferi is blue white. I'd probably rather do that.
Yeah, because then you get blue.
So Teferi,
in there too.
Jace, and Chandra.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so could be an interesting angle.
It's not what I'm building.
Yeah, because you're building one. But I already built my Planeswalker deck. I don't know if I want to do that with this. It is only 3 though to get this out.
That's true.
But it has to deal combat damage to a player. Choose a planeswalker type. I don't know. It's okay. It's different.
Right.
All right, we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think it's interesting. So
Let's go to the.
Where are we going next?
We're going slivers because that's how I wrote my stuff down. So I don't know. Go for it, Lau.
All right, Sliver Grave Mother. It's Wooburg 6/6 legend. The legend rule doesn't apply to slivers you control. Each sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value, and this also has Encore 5 colorless or 5 generic.
And Encore is
this card's crazy.
Exile this card from your graveyard for each opponent. Create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn. If able, they gain haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, and you can only activate it as a sorcery. So that isn't a known ability as much. Like I was like, oh, I don't know what Encore. Oh, okay.
Sure. Yeah, it was Commander Legends.
Yeah,
where it kind of started.
Yeah,
this is a good card, right? That's a good card
for slivers. That's a good tool right there.
That's good. I
don't think the sliver deck got a lot of stuff, but it got things. We'll get to that in a little bit here.
We'll get to that later. All right, what's the next one? It's a non-sliver sliver. I had to read this card like 6 times.
Yeah, and I'm so happy I get to read it.
Give me a second.
She can't even read.
2.
Okay, here we go.
Ruka Ramel, Biologist.
Oh, you would have got the biologist
No.
part. So Wooburg again. So we got white, blue, black, red, and green for a 3/3 human wizard. As this biologist enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. We're probably choosing slivers, maybe. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are of the chosen type in addition to their other creature types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield.
Right.
Tap 3, tap it, and create a 1/1 colorless sliver creature token. A lot of.
So I don't think you're saying sliver on this.
Yeah, I guess because you're trying to change your.
Your
other
slivers
things.
are slivers,
Right? But then it's like, are you playing this in a different deck that isn't a sliver deck?
I don't know.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, yeah,
I think okay. So the one thing to point the thing to figure out here is so it's non-token creatures. As long if it's a sliver, it's all of them. So tokens, non-tokens, and then if it's another creature type, that has to be a non-token. So if you're like token humans, this does not affect those.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like in a human deck or whatever, and you want them to be, and you want the slivers to be humans or the humans to be slivers or whatever. But yeah, I don't know where or what you're doing with this necessarily.
Like, does this even
other
go on a
than
sliver
like
deck? Like, I mean, besides making a 1/1, but you're tapping it.
Right.
You can't abuse it by going, tap 3 and it doesn't tap and do it. Like, what?
Right. So so your slivers that you're making with this fit in with whatever kind of, it's kind of like a Masswood Nexus, right? But it's 5 colors. So it's not nearly as good. This is pretty wonky. I don't know if I like this one bit.
No,
because it's too hard to work with. It's allowing the sliver token to be whatever creature type you want it to be. So maybe
slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type.
Right.
So, but the same is true for creature spells you can. But the token won't be everything, right?
The sliver token, because all slivers are, and then non-token creatures of other
slivers.
types.
Okay, yeah, and non-token.
Right. That's that part that's like confusing. It's like it allows all slivers to be whatever creature type you're allowing it to be,
right.
But then the non-tokens of everything else is also affected by this. And so it gets really fucking wordy. Maskwood Nexus isn't like this.
Well,
you know what I mean?
This becomes a sliver is what it is because it's affected.
If that's what you're doing, but this is real bad as a sliver, right? I think what this, you treat this probably like joining, like all your Magda deck, you turn everything into a dwarf, but it's 5 colors. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't. It's not going to fit. Anyway. This is not a card that you want to buy.
Maybe somebody else is playing elf deck or there's not a lot of elves that do other players, the old school ones. Merfolk do the old school ones where you get the bonuses from being a merfolk or merfolk on the, you know, like how the old school slivers where it's like you get the bonus for all slivers.
You're gonna play this to try and get a bonus to your slivers from the merfolk that are happening.
I know. Well, you want to get it for Forest Walk, right? You turn your elves into, or you turn your slivers into.
I'm not gonna play this for Forest Walk.
Oh, I thought you would have. Yeah, I was like, where is this
hard. Not this hard. Well, no, I'm gonna be. No, I don't get this. Number one, like, don't buy this as a single currently if it's at $30. This is
it's $33 fucking dollars.
That's what I'm seeing down in the bottom corner. I'm looking at because the Grave Mother was 70, and I'm like,
that's something I'm gonna get into because there's something happening there.
Right.
There's something. Okay,
right.
Something.
So, but yeah, don't buy this at $30. Like,
it's we don't need to talk about that one anymore because it's just.
Moving on.
Ted said in a Morophon deck, but I don't even think
way more time on like bad cards.
Bad cards we'd spend a lot. Ted said in a Morophon deck, but okay, you do the big Eldrazi. We're moving over to Eldrazi here. We got Eldrazi deck.
All right. Yeah, give me this one.
She can't even read.
Zuladoc, Void Gorger.
That was pretty good.
What, you like that? All right. Like I said, I kind of read today about it. 5 and 1 colorless. It's a 7/4 Eldrazi legend. Colorless spells you cast from your hand with mana value 7 or greater have Cascade and Cascade.
Which is pretty good.
Double Cascade.
That's a good Eldrazi. Double Cascade.
Is it?
Yeah. Not as your commander. Not as your commander.
7.
Right.
I don't know if I like that.
I mean, you could go. Well,
how much are they saying this one is going for? 60? 65? Don't buy that as a single. Don't buy that as a single.
It's so stupid. Let's wait till it comes out because there's no way it's staying at these price points. The price points are freaking ridiculous. If anybody's buying this at this price, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Don't buy this.
So how are you going to buy these cards?
All right.
Probably singles.
Yeah, singles but not for that price unless the only way that one stays at that price is when nobody buys these because they're so damn expensive,
right? Because it's a
$80
what is this one? Amarith? Omar this.
Yeah. Omar this.
I don't have enough of a list to say that.
You know what to do. Ghostfire Initiate. So this is XX. It's a spirit Naga not gonna work here anymore. 0/0. It enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. So if you're paying 2, it gets 1/1 counter. You pay 4, it gets 2, so on and so forth. Whenever you put 1 or more 1/1 counters on another colorless creature, you may put a 1/1 counter on this. When Omar this dies, manifest a number of cards from the top of your library equal to the number of counters on it. I guess in a counter deck, not necessarily an Eldrazi. Like, I mean, it fits in this deck, I guess, but you couldn't do, but this would be really good in it. And it's colorless, which is nice.
I like it.
So going in a 1/1 counter deck, you're going to get bonuses. This gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then Manifest is the top card is a 2/2, right? And then you can pay its cost if it's a creature and flip it over, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you get to do that many times. Manifest.
I like it. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's probably hard to build.
But I wouldn't build it as a commander, but as a 99 in your 1/1 counter decks, you could just tap 2, bring it out, and if you're making a bunch of other things that get 1/1 counters, this sucker's gonna get huge, and you kind of want it to die in a way.
What are you talking about though? You mean giving 1/1 counters to everything?
No, because whenever you put 1 or more 1/1 counters on another colorless creature.
Colorless.
Shoot.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Shoot. So like
reading's hard.
It's like maybe a proliferate deck where you're able to continually put 1/1 counters on it.
I was excited,
but like a morph deck doesn't put 1/1 counters out unless you're like mega morphing all the time. And but they're not colorless at that point when you flip them over, I don't think. So I think it's a far stretched. The only thing I can think of is like modular, but there's not enough colorless modular to let that happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Artifacts. That's their
right.
only
It'd
other
have to be artifact driven for sure. And then it's probably a very specific deck. I don't think you're going to be able to do much.
It's not
with
a
it. So
fucking $15 card. This is maybe a $2 card. There's no way. It's ridiculous. Let's get these prices
it's pretty
right.
niche. I'll bet you it's fun to play with and cool.
Oh, Ted has a good point. Modular deck. That would work
But
there.
that's what I was saying.
Oh.
That's what I was just saying. We were on the same page.
I
Ted.
wasn't listening
We're
to you.
I think no. He said a Morathon deck.
No.
Or is that the last one?
You'll
That's
see
the
in a
last
second.
one?
It's after Brother Joe was on. After Joe's comment, he wrote modular
Hey,
deck.
Joe. Yeah. Okay. Me and Ted are on the same page, but they modular. There's only like 11 creatures with modular total
Yeah,
that are
no.
colorless.
It worked when
Now
I had
you
a
can-
60 card deck, but not Commander. It doesn't work very well.
Right. Right.
We need more.
And
of that.
I think you could do modular now in a red white deck with the Modern Horizons 2 add-ons, but I don't. It's going to be pretty tough of a stretch for colorless. So, but I think it's a cool card. I think there's some room there. But
Ted said the same thing. The modular artifact B deck, which is that thing from Modern Horizons you're talking about. That's the commander for this one. But yeah, 99, if that. It's still meh. I was excited when I thought it was just 1/1 counters, but it is not. All right, the main guy for the last deck. Did I spell it right? I did not. Hang on a second.
Yeah,
there's-
ANIK. There's a K in there. It's sneaky.
There we go.
All
I
right.
do like this this deck for my Tom the Bomb deck. So this is going to be this. There's a lot of things they're going to make it in here.
All right. Anichthea, Hand of Erebos. 2 and a white and a black and a green for a 4/4 demigod. It has menace. Other enchantment creatures you control have menace. And then when it ETBs or attacks, exile up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black zombie creature in addition to its other types.
So yeah,
So I believe it makes it an enchantment,
right.
which also gives it menace.
Yep. So the cool thing is, like with the sagas, if they go in the graveyard, then I can turn them into a saga creature, which they will die because there is still a saga when it gets to the
Eventually,
last thing. But I think this is an interesting one. This is I wrote down Lowry.
This is the one I
you
wanna
wanna
build.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one I want to build. It seems really cool. I got rid of my enchantment deck. I'm interested in seeing where it's going.
Yeah.
So
I can dig it. I'm
because
tempted.
there's a lot of different ways. There's like I don't think there's much in the menace category, even though like it's nice, but there's tokens, there's zombies, there's enchantments, and if I can mix all of those in there, like however to increase the amount of copies of enchantment, like Aura of Silence, and then that's enchantment that increases everybody's enchantments and artifacts by 2, and then you can sacrifice it to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Then you bring that back, and then you copy it somehow, and then nobody's going to be playing enchantments or artifacts. Like Soul Ring for 5 sounds awful, and
It's finally fair.
so there it just stops everybody from that, and it's pure removal as well. I really like that idea, or like of taking enchantments that can sacrifice for removal or value, and then being able to bring them back and just have either more removal or hard to like block. That's kind of the way I'm thinking. And
the nice thing too is it isn't on damage, it's on attack that you get to trigger her thing. So I dig that. I would think to put this in Tom the Bomb, but I try to keep my sagas in play, and so I got rid of my recursion stuff because they weren't hit in the graveyard. But if you are doing a typical Tom the Bomb deck where you have your sagas hit in the graveyard, this would be fantastic in that, getting your sagas twice. And they're a creature, so you could attack with them, and they have menace and all that stuff. Yeah, I think this is a really fun card. I love the next one though. Speaking of Tom, this one is perfect for this deck for Tom the Bomb and any other enchantment. But it's Narcy Fable Singer, and it's 1 white, black, and green for a human bard. She has lifelink and is a 3/3. Whenever you sacrifice an enchantment, draw a card. So with Tom, you might hit those sagas where I'm talking about sacrificing, but a lot of times I'm trying to keep them on. So a lot of times I hit that final chapter, so I might not get the draw part. But the second part of her ability is whenever a final chapter of an ability of a saga you control resolves, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is that saga's mana value. So like I mentioned before, is Tom, you have a lot of cards that manipulate taking counters off and putting counters on. You have a saga do its final chapter, you resolve it, but you can remove the counter before it gets sacrificed. So you can keep it there, and then they end up taking losing life. You gain the life, and your saga's still there for your next time to make it resolve again, and you just rinse and repeat. So this one is for sure going in there because of the counter manipulation. And then if
that's a game winner in there.
Yeah, some of my sagas end up going to the graveyard, then I get to draw a
drawn
card
off of it.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun that way. And the cool thing is the fairness of Tom is that his ability only resolves once a turn. This does not have those handcuffs on it. I could do the final ability, remove a counter, add it to another saga. Like there's cards that do that where you're moving a counter on one and putting it on another. So you hit a final on this, hit a final on that, and you could pretty much kill the board if you can do things right. More difficult shit to do with Tom, so my anxiety can go crazy and I can have a panic attack. I'm excited. Very excited. Okay. But are you this is going in that deck probably, I'm guessing, or this seems more saga based.
Sure.
You think because the sacrifice.
I mean, okay, so do we want to that's the 8, right?
Yep, that's 8. Yep.
All right. So I definitely want to get the first one. And the question ends up being like singles wise, a lot of these are looking like $20-$30+ for the legends, which is insane.
Okay. I
knew we were getting somewhere here.
Let me get an event here. I don't know what Goldfish is doing right now, and I don't know if Goldfish is the driver or if you're seeing it also on stocks. But Goldfish is doing this pricing of $30 for all the cards that aren't known, like that we don't know pricing of. And then they're just randomly picking cards. Like, for example, Sithis is a $5 card. They have it listed as a $30 card. They're bumping the price of what it looks like when you go to their deck list. All these are just getting this weird bump, and it's not $29.99. It's like $29.77. Like, we're getting this weird number that's in there, and I don't know how they're getting this information on cards that aren't even existing. Like, we haven't seen anything, but to have Sithis that you can get for under $5, actually, you can get some of the basic versions. I'm talking $5 for a foil, whatever. They have that at a $30 card. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know.
Right.
There's this weird thing happening. Goldfish doesn't normally do that. And they're normally the ones that
normally they keep it blank until there's a little bit of a market going on.
Pull that up so I can, instead of just talking. But you go ahead. You start ranting on it, and
so
I will pull these up.
Here's the thing: is like the decks. It sounds like the decks are being sold to stores at like somewhere in between $70-$80 per precon, and so that's why you're going to be seeing higher prices for the precons here, even though the old reprint cards in there, the value is just not there. They missed on a ton of reprints. You know what I mean? Eye of Ugin, Eldrazi Conscription. Like there are tons that they're missing throughout. Slivers, all of them. And you can see Sliver Hive was not reprinted. It was a $7 card. Now it's like $40. Like it went bonkers. And so they just missed at the price point. And maybe they're trying, like the new cards they're thinking are so good that will make up for what they're doing. But it's a normal pre-card, or it's a kind of a normal pre-con minus the new cards. The new cards seem to be pretty solid, but again, not $30.
Right. So, okay, here.
Right. Like,
oh, wait, I got to get this so it's on screen here.
And so it's going to be an interesting bit, right? They marked up the prices on your boxes, your pre-cons, and so you might get a lot of people thinking like what we were talking about, going, I'm buying singles, which means that not a lot of product going to get cracked. And so there's probably not going to be a lot of decent price singles out there. Like if I have to buy Dark Steel Monolith for $40 and I know I want to, like, I think I want to buy that, but not for $40, then why don't I just go buy the pre-con for 80 to 100?
Right. But
like that, and maybe that's the thinking. And so I don't know if they're pumping up the prices, but Card Kingdom kind of has them not at this price, but
look at this.
They're expensive still.
There isn't anything under $1. I think I saw one thing that went under 99 cents. They never do that. These cards are not worth $1. This is not worth $1. Right. Warping Whale is not worth $1. Like the cheapest they go down to, and then like you just mentioned, Dark Steel Monolith is a $40 card. No singles come out unless they're free counterspell. The freebies of having your commander out. Do they come out and they're this expensive? I know that the price tag on the commander decks are higher, but just because they're higher doesn't mean you bump up everything else. Like even the lands are shit, and they still have
Rogue's
them.
Passage is 54 cents apparently.
I guess.
But everything else is $1.
It's $1 plus. Like I don't get where they're coming. And like if you look at the top, it's 25. Oh, because they did Wastelands. Those I can see. So they have it priced at, oh shoot, I gotta expand this so I can see it. They have that deck priced at $352. Like I don't know why Goldfish is doing this.
So essentially, it's weird because it's super inaccurate.
Look at that. Look at
like
this.
They're inflating the price of the
Sithis.
What's it at?
30.
Did you know that's like $1 or $2?
Right. And it's not like a special version of this.
So,
like, I don't get what's happening here. And you see it's
but
this.
They're big enough that that shit is going to move the market.
Right.
People are going to see that and go, oh, it's a $30 card. And Card Kingdom knows that they can bump their shit up too because of this, because people see this. And this is the stuff that goes on MTG stocks. And people are going to try and milk as much money out of it as they can, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of people buying it, because our entire Discord, you had
cancel order. Yeah,
a lot of cancel orders. You had, who's the biggest guys? What's their name again? I forgot what they are. Josh Lee Kwai and Jimmy.
Command Zone.
They were ragging on the decks and stuff like that. So you got a lot of negativity towards these decks, and not because they're bad decks, but because of the price point entering.
I don't get why they're even. Like normally they don't do this. This is what I'm confused about with Goldfish.
So I agree. It's weird that Goldfish
they don't normally
the
so the enchantment deck, they have it $418. It's like, what is going on? Like this, it's like they almost felt like they needed to throw a price out there for everything, and I don't get it. Like now we're getting into the Planeswalker Party. What is that one?
Guff.
372. It's like, okay. Are they doing this to make it so it seems like you're not getting feel bads if you bought these, for $80?
Probably.
And what's the last one? The Dragon deck.
Probably.
They have it priced
Slivers.
at Slivers. Sorry, yeah, 372. Like what? Right. And they don't even have the main sliver on there. Everything else they were pricing out, but our new Wooburg sliver isn't even on there. So it's like, I don't get what's happening there. So that was one of my gripes, is why.
I agree. Goldfish is kind of messing up there. The new cards aren't sitting at 30. They shouldn't be. They're not worth that much.
It's just a weird, it's $30, like close to it. 28, 62, 28, 37, 28, 62.
Right.
It's like, where are you getting these numbers from? Because there's no way in hell anybody is going to spend that much. Then we have some of the new slivers in there too.
So I get it. So singles wise, it's kind of a little bit of a worry right now, because I'm in that category. Like I don't want to buy all of these because it's like fucking like $250, $300 at this point. It's
Yeah,
you really can't find them for like the sliver one's
354
going
is
for
what
over
I saw.
100.
Yeah.
354?
354 for on Amazon is the cheapest, so $89 a box. I did see a Facebook advertisement type thing of a store being like they got them down to about 75 for each. 75 if you bought all 4 of them, 75 each. But even that, I'm like, dude, there isn't enough in here that I want to. It's the same thing that's happened with us lately with the Commander stuff. Is it just more bulk stuff that I don't know what to do with it all. Right. So it's like,
because they're printing a ton of it at this point, so value doesn't come back. You can't trade it away. Here's the other thing about this, why I might just break down and just buy the enchantment one, because that's one I want to build. But I don't want to build slivers. I don't want to build Eldrazi. And the Planeswalker one is something that I might be interested in, like in the future, or like because I haven't done Planeswalkers, and that's kind of a thing that people do. So I'm sure I will eventually want to build a Planeswalker deck.
Yeah.
And so the enchantment one is something that I do want to build. There's some solid ones that they're adding. I'd have to relook at it a little bit more, but at this point, those are the only 2 that I'm thinking about, and only because I can see myself buying them in the future at a even more inflated price potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, my general thinking is these prices should go down. But knowing if people are buying it and they have to spend 80 to 120 bucks, those cards stay up because you don't want to let go because you spent so much money on it.
Yeah.
Right. And so
it is this another case of when we talk about if you don't have these, like if you're newer or you don't have, your collection isn't that developed, right, is this a good thing to jump in at? I mean,
these precons, and that's the problem, is that you're talking about such an you're talking double the price of a normal precon.
And is there really, you have what, maybe 8 new cards per box per precon? I don't know if that's worth that, you know? Get the Lord of the Rings precons instead.
That's what I was saying on the Discord. Everybody's like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, I think if I'm gonna buy something, it's gonna be another box of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, okay. So speaking of that, we talked off air, but you played the Lord of the Rings precons with Ibukaki and some other, and Shay and other friends. How did those play out straight out of the box? Was that fun? Like, was it good?
Well, so the other 2, one was just learning how to play. That was his first 2 Magic games.
Ibukaki.
No. His buddy, though, who is a big Lord of the Rings fan, and that's why we tried to con him into playing, learning Magic a little bit. And he caught on pretty quick. And then Shay's the other one, and he doesn't really play Commander. He does Arena. And so the deck's played well. The human deck probably is the best, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just seems consistent. Like that human commander is just like, oh, I had a human coming to play, create 2 hasties, and just you're just always a threat pretty much.
But what I'm getting at is those were fun. Like, and those are half the price, you know, like, and that's what they typically are for Commander decks, is not 90, not 80, or you have to buy them in bundles to get them for cheaper. I will tell you, with the Commander product of this, I'm buying the singles if I need them. I might try to get the sliver, but I'm never going to build a sliver deck. That's the thing, is I have...
that's the thing.
I'm never going to build... The only way I would is the first sliver seems so random and fun that I could end up building that at some point, but it would be for like somebody that was starting out, you know, like... It'd be a beginner deck, because they're always a threat. But the problem with slivers is you are an instant threat because you're playing a sliver deck. And so that's one reason why we're already an instant threat, because it's me and you. I mean, we have playmats that
that's
say
fair.
"kill us." You know, everybody.
Whap, whap, whap.
It's not that we're good. It's just that we're kill the Smiths
Because
first.
we have a podcast.
Yeah, right.
So I guess pre-con wise, I'm still up in the air. I don't know what I'm going to do. And that's almost the first time that it's ever happened to me in my life for anything where I don't know what I'm going to do. What do you plan on doing?
And I'm not buying precons, but let's talk about the other stuff because
Other stuff. Yep.
you're so you might buy one of them is what you're saying.
One to two of them. Again, I'm not going to build slivers, so I'm going to stay away from that and just be sad that I don't have them. I'm very much likely not going to be building Eldrazi.
Yeah.
So
two hated tribes.
that's all I got.
What other hated
Right.
tribes could they have done? Well, I guess they did dragons in here a little bit. Oh wait, no, dragons isn't in
Hey,
here.
guess who built those two? Quinn.
Like your scowl. Can't even see my eyes.
Like this is my Mr. Magoo scowl.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the actual set proper here. So we have you have your commander draft boxes, which are around that 290 range. You have your commander set booster boxes at 370. Both of those are 24 packs. Then we're back to the double masters type of deal where it's the commander collector boosters are 4 packs for $215. So you're looking at just over about $5 or $55 a pack. It's more 53 something, whatever. I don't know about those either, man. I mean, there's some cool stuff. We got some silhouette stuff. I mean, the cream of the crop is the Jeweled Lotus. Renshai, if he's still on here, have you heard about his
Oh, good for you.
Full art foiled
full art foil Jeweled Lotus? But dude, you might be. This was the old guy. Now let's look at the new guy, which the breaking the box. This is how I make my proxies, man. They're like doing what I do for proxies. And I love this.
They're stealing your stuff.
They're stealing my shit. But at $700 or no, it's $140 for those. They're also doing the retro etched stuff here too with
Etched foil.
etched
I like
foils. Where are you thinking with all this stuff? I mean, there's a lot of cool reprints in it. We didn't get a good land base necessarily. We got the battle bonds again, battle bond lands. Wish we would have got some other things that were a little more spending.
So we got the battle bond lands? I
Yeah.
kind of missed that.
We got 5 of them. We got have I told you about my Jeweled Lotus?
I guess here is, my opinion is on master sets is if you're behind or you don't have a lot of these cards, pick up a box, whatever your price point that you're comfortable with. The set boosters are what I normally go with.
Yeah.
But those are
The most expensive.
Yeah, that's a little heavy for me to be willing to buy a box for. So we're not doing battle box this time.
Nope.
It's just
Well, we just did.
we
did Lord of the Rings, which we want to do on special sets, but that was just the last one. Like if we would have had a set in between this, maybe we would have done this here. But
maybe, yeah.
But still,
I could be talked into a draft booster box, but still,
that's the most expensive.
Get ready, but I have all of these cards.
Oh, good for you.
Like I've
Hello,
gone through
boobies.
and there's only like 5 cards that I plan on buying out of this, and it's the extra turn that was Portal 3K. That's a couple $100 before this, so I'll get that. Personal tutor, which was an expensive tutor, which I won't even use, so I can wait on that. And then
yeah.
after that, I don't like.
You're getting
It's just a couple of nothings.
You're getting a tutor that we don't even tutor.
Right, but I still like
I know
having
to have it.
them.
I understand. I
Right.
understand. I'm the same way. I'm very.
And so, like,
What about the
singles-wise,
silhouettes?
I'm
What about the
spending less than
silhouettes?
$100.
How do you feel about the silhouettes?
Oh, you want to find that art? I'm okay with it. Some of them look good. Some of them I don't really enjoy. I'm surprised that they went with the same art for so many cards.
Right. Where's my Eureka? I don't know if I like I won't get the Eureka, even though it's my.
Well, you have that other.
I know I have
version
the
of
Judge
it
one
anyway. Yeah.
So I like that one better, but I like some of the silhouettes, and some of them are just like the Eldrazi. Which one was that? The one that just looks like a bug. Yeah. Let me get
Yeah.
Ulamog. Well, I have it. Did I have it as the thumbnail for this one?
Ceaseless Hunger.
There it is. Let's show you this little bug. Oh, that's not the right one. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. What's the other Eldrazi that's in this? It is
Kozilek.
Is it Koz?
I might have missed that being the reprint.
Is it Koze?
There's an I in there too.
I know.
somewhere.
EI. Cozy. Nope. It must be I before E except after C. Cozy. Nope, that didn't work. Somebody give me the name.
Let's
Kozilek.
go Kaz. K-O-Z.
Spelling. Is it Butcher? Is it Butcher?
I don't think so.
No, it is not Butcher. Which one is it?
It's the other one.
This one. Great Distortion.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That one.
That's a bug. What is that? What the fuck?
I don't think it's
What the fuck is this? You have an
It's a
eye?
beetle.
That's like, yeah, it is. It's like
No,
this-
it's a turtle head poking out of the butt. It's
Somebody's got to poop. It's an emergency. Where's the bathroom? Like, what
Where's
is
the
this?
bathroom?
This is not a silhouette. This is, like you said, it's a poop.
It's a poop. So yeah, I agree. I don't like that one. Some of these could have been better choices. I'm sure the artists are knowing, like, are you sure you want me to do this? Because I think, like,
I like the idea.
There's just a handful of them where I'm like, I don't really like that. But in general, I like
the
this.
idea. Yes, it's different. It's just
So
get a better artist.
Here's one
No,
thing.
the artist is not the problem. It's just I was trying to do get a better deck.
Yeah.
Build a better deck.
The one thing that I have the opinion on here, like, if you don't have the cards, buy a box. If you have most of them, just buy singles of whatever you want or need art wise. Just get what you want. I would half expect the cards to go down because Double Masters last year, cards tanked.
Yeah.
But they weren't necessarily like the collector's packs were at this. It was about $55 per pack for the 4.
Mm-hmm.
But the set booster was not almost 400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think and I haven't done the breakdown of it, but I think you're expecting more special stuff in the regular. That's why they're so expensive, for the set and the draft and all that stuff.
So if I were to buy something, it'd be just a draft box to get as many cards as I could.
But the thing is,
there's quality cards in here,
right? But you have them. Like the thing is
me personally, yes. I said if I was going to buy something and I needed them,
right.
I'd just get a draft booster box.
Again, if you're newer into Commander or have been out of the game or you don't have a huge collection of stuff, this is perfect. It's a Commander Masters. You're getting a bunch of Commander staples. You got all the big staples in there. The only thing we're missing is Cyclonic Rift, which we said is overplayed anyway. So, but you got Crater of Behemoth. My old little buddy is in here, right? Crater of is in this, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
So,
the other thing that I did notice, and it'll depend on what happens. Normally, one thing that I do when I'm going through is I go like on Card Kingdom, I go highest to lowest on price. So you just start out with the most expensive card. And generally on standard sets, by that first page, you're hitting cards that are less than 99 cents. Like, so within there aren't 30 cards or 20 or 30 that are over $1. And you can see that. And then master sets will generally get you to 2 pages. And right now on Card Kingdom, this gets you to 4. And so, but it's not released. It has, there's no chance to tank at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the comparison to, this is much more of like a Double Masters.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, this is for sure
type
Double
product.
Masters. Yep.
So the other thing is, I do think they're trying to money grab us a bit because they know Commander's a huge part of their money.
Yeah.
And so I think they're trying to see how much Commander people are willing to pay for like a reprint thing like this. This is what I was worried about when we had that discussion 3 years ago.
Right, when you were like,
3 or
"There's
4
no
years
way they
ago.
would do this," and then now they're doing.
Then they did Commander Legends.
Commander Legends.
I
yeah.
loved Commander Legends
Right.
the way that they did
That was fantastic. Yep.
Yeah. This, with it being so reprinted, like it's all reprints. The other thing that you can point at, like a lot of these good cards have already been reprinted in Secret Lair.
The Creator of Behemoth, you can get that for dirt cheap right now with Secret Lair.
The Ulamog Ceaseless Hunger was the cereal box one.
You also you did just get Great Henge in Lord of the Rings. We just got Great Henge, and now we're getting it again. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot.
So there's already a lot of these that have been reprinted in the last year and a half. So it's hard for me to justify, and this is a little bit of the discussion that we had about pre-con value. When did we do that? When we were saying like any of these cards that they're reprinting, they're reprinting them. Like the talismans are tanking in value because they're going in pre-cons. All of these cards, that not all of them, but a majority of them, where I'm like, these are already being reprinted.
Yeah.
So if you've been buying in the last year and a half, you've already kind of supplemented yourself from this.
I will say the medallions are a good one that was needed to be reprinted.
Right.
That was one good thing that they got.
That was a
into
good
this.
reprint.
Yeah. But again, those are only as high as they are because they haven't been printed for so long. So don't expect those to be $30 cards.
But not all of them too, because Jet Medallion was reprinting the Post Malone.
Right. But I was selling those for $30, $40. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think they need to get rid of the list if they want to do Masters products like this. Because I think the list is undercutting this kind of product. Even though they're trying to add value into their standard boxes, I think you just need to treat standard like standard a little bit. Or I like their side products, like with the artifacts in Brothers War, or the legends in March of the Machines.
Yeah.
Like I like that bit, but I don't think I like the list at this point. I think they should stop that.
Yeah. What would you do instead of, like, for set boosters? Would you just get rid of set boosters in general? Because that's the whole point of the set boosters, in a way, is the potential for a bonus card. They also do more towards like theme, you know? So I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. That's their job to think about that. I just think they should stop with the list. Because now, like, and this is just memory, anecdotal, but when the list cards first started coming out, all of them were solid.
Yeah, now we're getting shit.
Like, now I'm getting shit.
Yeah.
This is kind of like, you get one, maybe like one rare, doesn't mean that it's going to be good. But the first couple boxes that I bought, like, and I get a $5 card, like, oh, that made it worth it.
All right.
5 to 10. And now it's not.
Yeah.
I don't get one of those. So maybe there's that too. And maybe other people are getting those $5 to $10 cards, but, and so we should probably move on. Are we good? You got anything else to say?
No, I'm good. Buy singles. If you want, buy the product.
Of the main product, I would just wait. You know, I plan on taking my normal tract with this. Just wait a month, wait for things to tank and people to crack stuff.
Yep. This is one of the few I'm not buying like sealed stuff. So I'm waiting for singles. Yeah. And it might be because I went so deep on Lord of the Rings and I'm still finishing that, completing the set stuff. So that's probably the other part of it, but I knew I was going to go deep on that and hold off on this. So, all right, let's get to staple versus.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight!
Staple versus! we both reached for the crown. Okay,
And
so
we're both gonna we can both wear the crown until you're taking yours off. I think you're admitting defeat.
oh, we'll see here. Okay, so we have a couple results to go over because I was gone for the last couple weeks or 10 days, 11 days. So
Good for you.
Thank you. 2 weeks ago we had Smuggler's Share versus Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Lowry, your truth serum has been dipped into your water there. What do you think actually should have won, or do you think won?
I think it's close. I'm going to guess that Fable wins, but I think I like Smuggler's Share more. I think Smuggler's Share
I
is
don't
like
think you've played with
this
it
just
enough.
goes in a deck. What's that?
I don't think you've played with it enough.
Smuggler's Share?
Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
Or
you need to play red decks. They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
I fit them into other decks, and so it's just.
All right. It does work for me every time I play. But anyways,
I'm trying.
So Discord voted, and they voted in favor of you, Lowry, at 58% for Smuggler's Share. But we know where the Mac Daddy is of this. YouTube, right? YouTube. We're not doing Twitter anymore because, I mean, you can see it at the bottom of our thing there. It says Commander Smith at Twitter, but whatever. YouTube voted 76% for Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which gives us a whopping total of 70% for Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Woo!
Okay. All right.
So, match number 1 was an ass kicking. Match number 2.
That was.
Match number 2, I made a mistake because I was on vacation, as you remember. I never put this on YouTube, so this was only Discord voting. We know where this is going. 77% of the people voted for Season of Growth over Rumor Gatherer. That was kind of an ass kicking because I didn't put it on YouTube. Otherwise, we might see.
No, it would have been the same. It's fine. It would have been there.
Go back to my comment of dumbass Discord. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Don't keep voting.
You're being so mean.
All right. This week, Laura, what do we have going for our staple verses this week?
Oh, you got 2 cards. Apparently,
Yeah,
huh? All right,
baby.
All right, it's going to be Cloudshift versus Malakir Rebirth. Cloudshift is 1 white for an instant. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control.
And I have Malakir Rebirth, which is a 1 black. So we're dealing with a black and white deck here. It is also an instant. Choose target creature. We don't exile it, but you lose 2 life, and until end of turn, that creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Oh, but it has another part to it. You can play the back side of the card if you wanted.
Hey,
and if you do,
be respectful.
It is a black land swamp. Well, it's not a swamp, but it's a black land that comes into play tapped. So
can be. Yeah.
We have 2 parts.
So what are we thinking here? So it's a black-white deck. We think that there's some ETBs in there, right? Are we thinking that? Are you playing Malakir Rebirth because you have a sack outlet, or are you just using it as a protection spell?
Either
because
or
both
works.
of these, what's that?
Either or works.
Either or.
But the thing about mine is I can use graveyard synergies. If I needed something to hit the graveyard, I can get a little bump bonus from my card going to the graveyard, and then it comes back. When it dies, return to the battlefield tapped on it. Yeah, so it hits the graveyard. I get the graveyard triggers. So when you're dealing with a white and black deck, you do have a lot of different things that deal with graveyard stuff. Your exile stuff is
we can.
It's in there. But the exile is, I mean, it's nice. It's flashy. I thought my angle was originally that yours came back instantly, and I wrote down yours. I was like, oh, yours doesn't work against board wipes, and then I get over to mine. I'm like, mine doesn't work against board wipes because it comes. Well, actually, no, it does.
No, that does. Yeah, it does.
Okay, never mind, because mine hit the graveyard and then comes back. My argument originally.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the different thing. So if somebody goes to exile your creature, Malakir Rebirth is a dead card,
I'm
right?
screwed. Yep.
And for me, if somebody wants a Path of Swords, which are heavily played, right? Like in every white deck.
Well, we talked about board wipes, right? On our last episode or 2 episodes ago, overplayed.
Yeah, don't play them. So it's not as good, right? And so, but Cloudshift can be like,
listen to
blink,
us, right?
blink. No, they don't.
Yeah. Oh wait, you just admitted.
They don't listen to you. Blink, like, oh, you go to destroy my or exile my creature, exile it, new creature, fizzle that spell, bada bing, bada boom, ETB effect happens again.
So your
That's
one
good.
scenario works. You got it. We see board
Well, I mean,
wipes
I
like
can
in
just
almost every single game, right? Right?
No.
No.
I got other cards for that. Here's the thing. If I want that ETB effect to happen, I can just cast Cloudshift and have that ETB effect happen.
Sure.
I can block. We can both block, cast these spells. Your creature will come back, but you'll lose some life. And mine will just come back.
Oh, shocks.
What?
I hate shock lands because of losing the 2 life. It's terrible. Fetch lands, it's awful. Losing the 2 life.
Right. I'm really hoping that some of the newer players see that and don't want to pay the life. That's what I'm hoping.
That is where it comes in. That is very much so.
But then I can just straight up just go, I want that ETB effect to happen. Is it a land coming into play? Is it a destroy effect? Is it...
What?
It's something, right? It's something, right? Cloudshift is broken, like Renshai's saying. It's broken.
I wouldn't say it's
Malakir
broken.
Rebirth.
I would just say build a better deck and play different cards because I would make it so it's a multi-target, So
like you're saying you wouldn't want to play
Eerie
either of these
Interlude
cards?
instead of this, because then at least you can get around board wipes because it comes back at the end of turn instead of killing your. Did you just lose your crown?
I did. I lost my crown.
I saw something fall. You have been decrowned. The other part of this is I have modes, basically. It's kind of like a mode. I can choose to either, hey, I'm mana screwed. What can you do about Cloudshift if you're mana screwed? Like early game.
I mean, you're right, but I would just say build a better deck.
But in the situations that you draw these 2 cards, which one's going to help you when you're mana screwed? This is one of the discussions we had when the flip cards came out. Is I think they should make more of these because it would minimize the mana screwed part of Magic, which is good. That's good. Yeah, add a little. You lose 2 life.
Do you play lands that can turn into creatures?
Sometimes. Unblockable one.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah, the unblockable one. I like that one. The land.
Your ninjutsu deck.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. Unblockable's fun.
How many of these do you play? How many? I'll add in all of these cards that flip into land or a spell on the front side. How many of those do you play?
They have to fit in what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. We need more of them. So if you're doing a Cloudshift,
right,
and so a Malakir, I would definitely play the Malakir.
I didn't realize that you were trying to be a politician. All you had to say was 0.
No, it is not 0. Actually,
you don't have to just elongate the answer.
It
just
is not 0 because I do have some that are the flip part. I don't add them as my land part, but they do have a disadvantage where like this one is you lose 2 life. Yeah, I would much rather lose. It's like having a shock land on the backside in a way, kind of, but not really, because when you play the land, you're not getting shocked. I know. I'm the only one drinking. You are drinking water. You are clear-headed, and I'm just gibberish talking at this point.
Well, now I understand what it's like listening to us do this while we're both drunk.
Kill me now. Can this end sooner?
It kind of sounds like we're going to have to end this segment forever. It's... So I mean,
we're gonna have a talk after this after the podcast. I'm like, I think we should scrap Stable Versus because I was sober and I listened to that. And it was terrible.
It's not now that I've heard it sober. Apparently, I drink. I
When
drink
you're
while I'm
editing?
editing too
Yeah.
midday.
Well, you have to as you're listening to the podcast. You're like, this is awful.
Right. You have to be semi-inebriated while listening to
Inebriated.
us. That's what I've learned.
All right. Okay. So yes, your benefit is you are based on ETBs. You get the instantly. Mine will depend on the creature dying. We're not talking about the 2 life.
Right.
I get the bonus of, hey, I'm mono-screwed in the beginning. Boom, this is also land. Potential graveyard synergies if you wanted to use that. Board wipe, I'm protected there. I gave you 1. I have 3 bonuses. You have 1 bonus. 3 to 1. 3 to 1. Oh, and
I mean,
this is at 100,000 more decks and has been out less time. Just kind of throwing that out there. 37K compared to 137K. Just
but Cloudshift has better art. We have
really
Avacyn in it.
Yeah, this is
Avacyn.
this is some Silent Hill shit on the right side on Malakir.
Nobody, like a what is even Silent Hill? That's like the
It's a
bad
video game. Don't say bad. It's a fantastic game. Silent
It's
Hill's
a bad
awesome.
version of that other thing that people like.
Are you talking
That's
about
also,
Resident Evil?
Yes, it's a bad version
No,
of that.
It's more scary because Resident Evil, you know when shit's coming. Like it's you can predict it. Silent Hill, I couldn't finish the fucking game because it's so scary. Like that's how scary that game is. I had to play it with my
I'm just
brother.
hoping that people that are Resident Evil lovers now hate you. That's my
Resident
hope.
Evil's a good game, but Silent Hill's more scary. Like the thing is, you have your little monster noise thing, like monster tracker, and when something's close, it starts like crackling. It's like, and as it gets closer, it gets louder. But you can never see anything because you're in a fucking fog all the time. That's what these things are, and it's scary, especially when they're chasing you. I win. It's good to be back. It's been 2 weeks.
If you would like to vote for one of these cards, go to YouTube or the Discord. And it feels weird doing this. This is your job. Take over, please.
Because I'm drunk and I'm just kidding.
No, it's just you're the intro outro guy.
You can vote for this on the Discord. You can vote for this on YouTube. Check out the community tab. That is where you vote for this. We'll announce the winners not this Monday, but the next Monday. Well, if you're listening to this on the audio, it'll be the following Monday. So
It sounds so much better when you do it.
No, I think it sounds good when you do it because then it just makes me sound ham boned
because you're not saying it. That's fine.
All right. We almost got a 2-hour episode on when we were going to be short. That should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
No, my lord. Woo.